Good morning, everybody. I started to say Vietnam. How you doing this morning? Welcome to the Morning Wood. I'm glad you have joined my wood, I guess. Right, it looks like it's just gonna be right now, me and Red. The other two people that were supposed to be here, well, they're not here, Red.
I know, we've been abandoned. I feel so alone.
Yeah, I feel like that. Oh shit, wait just a second. I'm hearing myself in the background. What the fuck? There we go. Sorry about that. Unprofessionalism.
I didn't do it.
I did it though.
You fired.
So it's gonna be me and Red. Looks like that's fine. Me and Red's great. We're the greatest YouTubers to ever YouTube.
We're the greatest trio ever. Wait, what?
Yeah, trio. It made me scratch my hat. I don't know why I just did that.
It's you, me, and this plate of bastardized so-called nachos that I just made.
But we always have Snuggles.
Meth in a can.
Yeah. So yeah, looks like it's just gonna be us. That's fine. We can do it. We can deal with it. We've got testicles. We're men.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes, we are men. Today's topic is you may be a psychopath. And see, here's the thing. Growing up, I had a really weird misconception of psychopaths. I thought it was dudes who like raped rabbits and had discussions with pork chops, but it's not necessarily that way.
No,
it's not. You're supposed to laugh at that joke, you stupid son of a bitch.
I'm looking at my nachos and I'm so hungry.
Fuck those nachos right now. Be a professional, goddammit. Red, be a professional.
It's the ambient bile, goddamn already.
Yeah, now you already made me pay money already. God damn it. I gotta pay money every time. Anyways, okay. Oh, there she is late. Like a black woman. Hello.
Hey.
Oh.
Hello, gorgeous.
Is Jesus holding your camera?
Jesus.
Jesus is a horny son, bitch. You was trying to look down your shirt.
Why did you say anything?
Because I didn't want her little nipples to say hello and get me kicked off YouTube.
Oh, well, it would have been a worthy sacrifice.
Well, no, it wouldn't be.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
You're a psychopath.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we got Luna in here. Welcome to the show, Luna. You're only 5 minutes late. It's okay.
I know. I had to make coffee.
Red Eye was cussing you out. I was taking
Damn it. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Ren.
You should have heard the things I was saying.
What are you saying?
I won't repeat them now in front of the audience, but yeah, we must talk later. Disciplinary action must be taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hand jobs will be involved.
Wait, what?
Red Eye's going to give me a hand job.
Oh, again? I mean, what?
Yep. Anyways, the first thing is you have antisocial personality disorder. While it is considered to be a personality trait and is measured by various personality tests used by psychologists, psychopathy is not an official diagnosis that is given to a person. The closest diagnosis would be antisocial personality disorder, and the DSM-5 describes how people with antisocial personalities are often referred to as psychopaths. You can think of antisocial personality as the psychiatric term, psychopath as the lay term. The diagnosis, however, can only be given to those who are at least 18 years old. I did not know that part. So antisocial disorder personality disorder can only be given to people 18 years old or older. Yeah, I can see that in a way because kids are naturally antisocial.
Yeah, anything before that, they're called teenagers.
Yeah. So do you have this trait? Are you Do you have an antisocial personality?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have that drink.
As many people know, if they've been in a Discord channel with me at times, I can become difficult to talk to. I'm trying to be kind to myself.
But no, it's difficult to like conversate with or whatever. Is that antisocial though? You're still being social.
Only with a certain group of people. You know, we've talked about my double standard. Well, that actually goes to people that I don't know, and but I am putting myself out there a lot more than I did a year ago.
Yeah.
By hundreds of a percentage factor. It's ridiculous. I stayed in my house for a very long time and talked to about 5 people for many years.
Okay. You fucking freak. No, I'm joking. Luna, what about you? Do you have antisocial personality?
No, actually.
I didn't think so either. I know I don't. I'm very social. I'm a very out there kind of person. It's one of the reasons I like traveling, taking the bus and stuff like that. The bus, because I like actually sitting and having conversations with people that I don't know. So I'm the complete opposite of Red. Red likes to, kind of, he's comfortable in, with the people he knows. I'm actually more comfortable with people I don't know because I like getting to know people. I think that's a very interesting thing for me. So I'm definitely do not have antisocial personality.
Yeah, I'm like the person that'll embarrass you in the store. Yeah. I'm like, hi. Yeah, at the cash register, I'm like, hey, how you doing? How was your day? And they're just like
the next one is you have low physiological arousal. That's interesting. An interesting fact about psychopaths: their condition affects more than their behaviors and ways of thinking. It also affects their physiological. Psychopaths have low physical. God damn it! Why can't I get this? Why can't I get the word out? I normally can get that word out. I can't get that fucking word out this morning.
Shit. Now
Red, say it.
Red, say it. Coffee.
What are we talking? Physiology?
Yes. Thank you. Damn.
Physiology. I cannot say that this morning. Physiology. Derek can't say it now.
Just look. From now on, we're going to call it up. Pumpkin
arousal. Pumpkin arousal. and reactivity. This means that they do not respond to stimuli the same way as the rest of us do. Now that is interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem for me. A girl looks at me and acknowledges my existence, like, oh, hello. It's like, and I think boobies are awesome.
Yeah. So it goes on to say, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean to do that.
No, you're all right. You keep going, boss.
It goes on to say, think of a time when you were frightened or nervous. Maybe you heard a loud noise in the middle of the night, or maybe you were going to on a first date with someone you really like. You may have started sweating, shaking, or breathing heavily.
All right.
Wait a minute. Your heart may have been, but what it is, they don't have none of that.
So they don't suffer from nervousness or any of that. It manifests in different ways. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have that. See, that is interesting. I'm assuming neither one of you have that issue, right?
Yeah.
That's really interesting that they have a different reaction to different stimuli. What would give me anxiety might not give them. Yeah, that's quite weird. But I do suffer from anxiety, so I can get nervous when I walk into a car park and I don't remember where I park my car exactly. I'll start it going, oh, fuck.
See, now, I'm gonna this is my own little thing. I'm gonna connect the next step to the previous step. Lack of empathy and remorse. See, you don't have to go in there because we all know that most of us already know that psychopaths lack empathy. That is one of the major things about psychopaths. So if you lack empathy and remorse, we all know that when we get sad, our body feels it. I mean, we really do. I mean, you get sad, your body feels it. So if they don't have empathy, they don't feel that in their bodies. So I can see where they may not feel the other things, like when they're nervous or something like that. Maybe that's stretching, to connect it, but that's how I look at it. I know both of you very well, so I know neither one of you lack empathy or remorse.
Yeah, it's like over the top.
I have a family member that I know is a psychopath because he definitely lacks empathy or remorse. He could beat you to the end of your life, and wouldn't even think twice. It wouldn't bother him. He could see you suffering. It wouldn't bother him. He has no empathy whatsoever. In all the steps we've read so far, he has. Well, I don't know about the physical thing. I don't really know about that, but the other ones, and this one, he definitely lacks. So, yes, I don't have any of these so far. I guess I'm just a normal fat fuck so far. You torture and kill animals. Well, we know Luna does that.
What?
Although animal abuse is not a symptom of antisocial personality disorder, it is a symptom of conduct disorder, childhood disorder. It is also a risk factor that has been linked to children developing antisocial personality disorder in adulthood. Well, you know that most serial killers used to kill animals when they were kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can read just about any story about any serial killer or watch any documentary, and they'll tell you they killed animals when they were kids.
Sadly, gonna have to tick this one off for me because I lived on a farm and I had a pellet gun, and I used to fucking be a vicious little piece of shit with that thing. And as I grew up, my dad used to take me hunting, so I first started with rabbits. I didn't have a problem. Got all the way up to kangaroos and all sorts of shit. But the thing that put me off it was the cure actually was coming across a sick dingo, and I had to put it down. And I had so much empathy for the poor thing. I never went after that shooting trip. I never fucking went again, and that was over 20 years ago. It cured, snapped me out of it. And I just went
out of it.
There's this poor dingo. Usually they run off when they see you. This thing walked out of the bush up to me and basically collapsed in front of me and looked up at me. And I said to my dad, "Can we save it?" And they went, "No." There's the kid in the car said, "Nah, kill it so I can get the tail for the $10 bounty." So I put the thing down.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. But before that, I was ticked that one off as potential psychopath or social disorder or whatever.
The only thing that I ever did that was cruel as to animal when I was a kid was, and this was very cruel. God, I hate to even admit this because it was so bad, but I was like 9 or 10. But we put, damn, it's rough. We took strings and put it on some frog, and we spun the frog in the air and then slung them against trees.
Yeah, kids could be cruel little bastards, but you didn't go around doing that every day, all day. It's
no. It wasn't. We only did it one time, and as I got older, I was like, "What the fuck was I doing?" I was a little idiot.
It was more like a peer pressure thing, like everybody else.
Yeah, everybody was doing it. And it was just, I was very young. I hate to admit that I did something like that, but yeah, I did. I did it.
Yeah, I hate. Look, I'm just being absolutely honest to the point of where a lot of people may go, "Fuck you, never talking to you again." But when I was a young kid and I was a cruel, vicious little fucking piece of shit with that slug gun, I really did a lot of damage to the fucking wildlife around my place, and I've still got that piece of shit fucking rusty old crap pile there, and you can't put a pellet through it anymore because it's rusted. But I just wanted to answer Raisin too. Yes, my dad did run an abattoir, and that's still it just made it more normal to see a lot of things die. So it was, but eventually had that little. My mum was the exact opposite. She instilled on me, "Don't kill things for the sake of just killing, you vicious fucking prick."
Yeah. Yeah, but you had you had the empathy to stop, and that's what's.
Yeah, that's right. It was that wake up call, and it was because I've always been had dogs, and this dingo was in such a. If you've seen a healthy
ate my baby.
Well, it was really just, if you saw this dingo, it was so emaciated and fucked, it could barely survive. And the idea that it walked up to a human being was just, it goes against its own nature. It was that fucked. It was probably trying to get help. And I don't know. I won't assume anything, but sadly, because of the property it was on, there's a bounty for them, because when they get big enough, they start bringing down young cattle and sheep and all their fowl, chickens and shit. So
chickens and shit.
Chickens and ducks and all that stuff. Yeah.
Chickens and the ducks. I
feel really fucking bad talking about this, and I'm quite disgusted with my former self. And if I could go back in time to stop myself from killing the first fucking thing, I would. Yeah. But sadly, I can't. So I'm just admitting I'm a piece of shit.
You are a piece of shit, though.
Yes.
I agree. You are a piece of shit. But blame it on the Ambien, baby. You are irresponsible. That is the next step. Another symptom of antisocial personality disorder is a lack of responsibility. The examples given in the DSM-5 are that these people have trouble keeping a job, taking care of financial responsibilities and obligations. This can be somewhat related to the lack of guilt that is experienced by psychopaths. For example, they may commit fraud at work or lie about their credentials or their resumes, which may lead to termination of their employment. Psychopaths also may exhibit violent or aggressive behavior, which could also make it hard to keep a job. I don't know about this step really, because I mean we're all irresponsible at one point in our life.
Yeah, and you could chalk that up to like people with depression have similar issues.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Depression. But now the last part was that they may exhibit violent or aggressive behavior.
That part I was like, no. I was like, yeah.
But see, now that you could honestly, this stage in my 20s, I would check that off as a definite for me. I was very irresponsible. I didn't keep a job in my 20s. It was like a little job here, there, and I was very violent and aggressive. Dude, I was like I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again today. None of you people would have liked me in my 20s. I was a totally, completely different person. I was a very violent, very aggressive person. I could be like this right now, like I am right now, like laughing and giggling, and then the next moment having you up against the wall by the throat. That's the way I was. I did not know how to like control that inner demon, or I guess back then, and so I was violent as fuck. But I was a psychopath in my 20s.
Yeah, I've been known to do some fucking, let's just say, very regrettable things to people.
Yeah. Now, Bunny makes a great point. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You keep going.
Bunny makes a great point. She said there's a difference in routinely irresponsible and casually irresponsible. That is true. That is true. And I think in our early 20s and stuff, most of us are irresponsible. We're just now really entering adulthood in our early 20s. We don't really know shit we don't know our asses from a hole in the ground.
Look, I'm 46 and not even close to getting my shit together, but I understand myself a bit better, and I understand how not to piss people off a bit better.
I normally don't answer questions to the end of the show, but this is a very good question, and I will answer it. Lamorte asked, do you know what made you like, well, he said make, but what made you like this? Yes, I do. When I was 10 years old, I was raped. I watched my mama get beat by her ex-husband. When I was 16, I witnessed a murder. And I did not, in this video that I did the other day when I was talking about it, I didn't talk about it. So it was building up anger and fear and all this all in once inside me, and I didn't ever release it. The only way I did release it was by being aggressive and being violent. I didn't know how to, I never did talk about it. So it all, when it came out, it came out as like me being a fucking jerk.
And that was like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I could have been like really giddy at 1 minute, and then the next minute I'd be cussing you out or trying to punch you. So that's what made me like that. But then, you know, I realized that I could actually, because like I said in that video the other day, and I'll mention this again, it seems like bullshit. Oh, talking about it's going to make you feel better. But once you like release that shit, it feels like you actually release a burden on the inside. It's like you're not the only one that knows how you feel anymore. And then it's a step to recovery.
No, you're right. Because I went through a similar process when I was younger, and I'm not trying to place the blame on my dad, because in defense of my dad, he was an undiagnosed diabetic, and you know what happens to diabetics when they drink heavily and eat the wrong food? They get like blackout drunk. Mm-hmm. So my life consisted of, by the age of 4, Dad would stumble in at about 5:30. The sun's still up. He'd scream out, "Get into bed, you little fuckers." He'd then have a diabetic pass out on the couch, and Mum would sneak us out, and we'd sit real close to the telly and watch telly until Dad woke up and screamed at us again. Yeah. That continued of the intimidation factor, and the anxiety kicked in until one day my dad walked in. We had an argument, and he popped me in the face, and I instinctively just turned around and went whack straight back, and I nailed him a really nice punch. Only later did I find out I hit him so hard that he had to go and get blood clots burned off the back of his eye with a fucking laser. I nailed him. But what that did was empowered me in the wrong way. Then I started going out, and anyone that had tried to bully me, I'd overcompensate by a factor of 10, where I was starting to hit people with lumps of wood and shit in front of crowds just to try and get the message across, don't try and fuck with me. Yeah. And police got involved, all that shit. Turn a new leaf now.
I can totally relate, because to that, what you said there is because, you know, I beat my stepdad up, right? The last time I told him, the last time he ever hit my mother, I beat the man half to death. And it was like the first time I ever really beat him. And this man was like 6'4", 300-something pounds. And I was a little 14-year-old. But I beat him to half fucking death. I mean, I beat that dude up. And that's when I realized that I knew how to fight.
You had this epiphany, yeah. After the fact, you sat down, and this darkness came over you from that point, and there was a dark place that fucking would come forth when anyone would get, like, you got in a stressful situation. It'd be like, it's like the way I'd describe it is, I'm driving the bus right now, talking to you. I'm driving the bus, and something happens. I'm sitting in the fucking back seat, looking at myself, who's turning their head, looking back at me, going, "Fuck you, I'm in control now." It's like I've got this facet of my personality that just, everything normal goes out the window. It's just like, all right, let's see who can commit the biggest act of violence the most quickly. It's just, let's play escalation.
And if you ever felt threatened, if you ever felt threatened at all, you'd go to the most extreme reaction.
Yep. And that way, everyone, if there's 10 dudes singing a taking on, you take out the biggest one and fuck them up badly, and the rest of them go, whoa.
And I used to do that. I used to walk into like crowds of friends and like, I'll whoop all y'all. And I mean, and they'd be like, "This dude's crazy." Yeah. And I was crazy.
I may have started 1 or 2 all-in brawls at nightclubs in my time. 1 or 2, maybe.
Yeah. The next step, you're impulsive.
Oh shit.
Is another symptom of antisocial personality disorder. This can be exhibited in different ways. Psychopaths may impulsively say, do, or buy things without thinking about the consequences of their actions. This behavior contributes to many of the other symptoms and behaviors exhibited by psychopaths. For example, they may impulsively spend money, contributing to their irresponsibility with financial obligations. They may also have trouble controlling their anger and, well, there you go. Impulsively act aggressive or violent. Yeah, we got that. So anyways, go ahead.
I walked into the music shop with aggressive, "Take my money, motherfucker. I'll beat the shit out of you. Give me those 2 guitars about a month ago." No, I didn't, but I'm guilty as shit. I did buy 2 guitars a month ago. I got $1,000 instead of paying bills, and I I rang up the music shop and worked out a deal where every single cent was spent on instruments. And I was, oh no, I'm psychopath.
See, here's the thing about this now with me, and my mom always like gets on to me about this. I don't have an issue spending money on other people, but I have an issue of spending money on myself. Like I'll buy my mom any damn thing she wants, but like if I need something, I don't buy it. So I don't really impulsively spend. I do it for other people. I don't do it for myself ever, hardly ever. It's like people had to literally beg me to buy me some new clothes because I just didn't want to do it, and I don't know why.
I'm really weird. Like I don't give a shit about guitars. It's like if I had 10 grand in the bank and I could get away with it, I'd go down and buy either 10 grand's worth of guitars or a 10 grand guitar. And actually, I'd split that up and I'd shout my missus a trip, ex-missus a trip anywhere in the world because she's done a lot for me. And my dad, look after them.
Yeah.
But you got to shout yourself once in a while. It's like that certain collection you were talking about. That's why it's good that you're getting back into it.
I like when other people buy me stuff. I just don't like to buy my own stuff. I love it when people buy me shit.
I used to like compulsively shop, and then I feel like really, really bad. It's like I would be like surrounded by crap that I didn't really want anyways, and then I would take it back to the fucking store.
Yeah,
return it.
I know a lot.
Like another coping thing.
I know a lot of women are like that though. Yeah. A lot of women will go buy things, then take it back.
Yeah. My mom is like, I have this shit now, so this shit makes me feel better, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't actually, so I'm gonna take it back, and that's why people at Walmart hated me in the service department.
You know what makes me feel better?
Nothing
in a can.
It's Jesus ass juice.
Damn.
If Jesus existed, his glorious testicles would smell like this. I'm telling you. It's like sniffing angels' pussies. I need to stop. Allegedly. Okay, the next step, Red Eye, you are reckless.
Actually, at times I'm very reckless.
Recklessness is another symptom of antisocial personality disorder. The DSM-5 describes this as a reckless disregard for the safety of self or others. While psychopaths tend to be self-absorbed, their impulsivity, what the fuck that word, sometimes leads them to put their own health and safety at risk. They may engage in reckless driving, spending, substance use, or sexual behaviors. Psychopaths are often fearless, which contributes to their rash behavior. However, not all psychopaths exhibit this type of behavior. Yeah, it also contributes to the rash of your sexual behaviors. The rash, never mind.
Oh, that's gross, and there's a cream for that.
There's a cream for that.
Yeah.
If STDs, Luna.
Yeah,
the herpes. Okay, go ahead.
The herpes.
The herpes.
The herpes. Now, I'm definitely. It's a 50-50 for me. I can be overly cautious to the point of, completely shutting down. Those nachos were fucking delicious, by the way. I'll be overly cautious to the point of shutting right down and like not doing anything. Or I'll cautious to and it's usually the male bravado bullshit that brings out the recklessness. I'm aware of it now, so I walk away from a lot of situations or try and talk my way out now. But 20 years ago, I was like, oh, that bloke's puffing his chest out at me. All right, he wants to fight. And we'd both run at each other, swinging our arms, windmilling them, and it'd just be like a cartoon fucking brawl. And it's like, I'm so glad I grew up somewhat and learnt at least that violence is really not the fucking answer to any of our problems.
Absolutely.
Unless unless you're an MMA fighter, then it's absolutely the answer to your fucking problem.
Yeah, I was definitely reckless back in the day. I mean, there's no doubt. I was way reckless. I mean, I would pretty much do anything. But I had this thing that I actually wanted to kill myself, but I didn't have the guts to like pull a gun to my head or something like this. So I was trying to die in my 20s. I really was. I was trying to die. So I would do anything. I mean, like, let's go. See, these last couple steps actually do very much describe me when I was a younger man. Because like the next one, well, you know, but I was very reckless. Luna, are you reckless, or were you reckless before?
For a small amount of time.
Yeah.
A short time after, like what you were saying, like after I was raped.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck everything. Because it's like nothing matters. And I don't care what happens to me. So whatever.
Yeah, you get this feeling of being like, you know, like, you know, I don't matter anymore.
Right.
And you know.
And it comes back, you know, after like you were saying, it comes back every once in a while.
And as a guy who went through, you know, sexual rape, you know, it's, I don't know, because I'm not a woman, but I think it's different because men have this machismo thing, this, you know, masculinity thing that, you know, it's, you know, we don't want to admit that we, you know, something like that happened because we feel less of a man. Maybe women feel the same. I don't know.
I know some women that don't want to talk about that. I did, I guess, because it was more like, at first it came out like a shock thing to others. And the first group therapy, like for rape crisis that I went to, there was people like vomiting after I spoke. That was just like, here, and I sat down and I was like, I don't understand what's wrong with these people. Yeah. You know, and nobody else wanted to talk. And I was like, okay. But other things in my life I couldn't talk about, like getting abused, you know, like by my mom or anything like that. I couldn't discuss anything like that, or just anything else that was pertinent and that was helping make me a little bit worse, you know. Yeah. Because I always had like panic disorder, but it was like that was making it worse by not talking about that.
Now, Raisin mentioned in the chat room, women are far more likely to get help than, and I agree with that. I think they are. I think women are more willing to. They don't want to admit it, but they do admit it, like, because it is kind of when it comes to rape, the discussion of men being raped doesn't happen a lot.
No. For
some reason. And it's because guys feel like, oh, if I'm raped, I'm less of a man. Well, I was a little boy, you know, but that didn't actually enter my head until years later that you know, that doesn't make me, I was a little boy. You know, I was a fucking kid, dude. You know, there was nothing I could do about it. There was nothing. And it's like, if you're a grown man who gets raped, and, you know, a lot of grown men get raped, but, you know, there's nothing you could have done about it. I mean, it doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man just to fess up about it and just try to help yourself. That's where your manly comes in. Don't worry, you know, it's hard. It is hard because, man, for a long time, even after I got started talking about it, it was hard for me to keep talking about it because right now, I'm actually feeling a little about it right now because I guess but it doesn't. I know it doesn't make me less of a man. It's stupid. You know, I'm gonna rate Red.
Yeah.
Lube up.
I'm gonna take his butthole virginity. As virginity.
Not if I rape you with my butthole.
Oh, how?
Might be a dual, a
sort of
equal opportunity rape.
When you said that, me and Lena both went, what now? What? Now, how exactly you gonna do that?
I don't know. I'll work out the fucking all the logistics later.
I'll sit down and make a plan, mate.
There'll probably be some yoga involved.
Yeah, like
DDP, extreme yoga.
some tantric yoga sex.
TDS, tantric. TYS, not TDS. What the fuck I say D for? What the hell? I'm stupid. All right, the next one is you engage in criminal activity. Criminal activity is a symptom of both conduct disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Psychopaths engage in criminal activities because they do not feel guilty about doing bad things to other people. Lack of remorse goes back to the other one, actually. They have trouble understanding the perspectives of others and therefore do not understand what it would feel like to be violated, assaulted, or stolen from. Lack of empathy. As previously mentioned, psychopaths are also impulsive and reckless. Therefore, they may commit crimes without thinking about the negative consequences of their actions, such as fines or arrests. While many psychopaths engage in illegal activities, not all psychopaths get caught, and not everyone who is in jail is a psychopath. Only about 25%. That's interesting.
Hashtag not all.
Hashtag not all psychos, baby. I definitely was involved in criminal activity back in my younger days. I get asked all the time, you know, people always assume I was in prison. Well, I wasn't, but it was only because I didn't get caught.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And it was the Ambien. I mean, I went to jail several times, but never went to prison. I did go to jail several times, and I actually, like, one time I beat a case. Well, allegedly. I don't know. Maybe I need to shut the fuck up. But I beat a case one time. Let's just say that. And but so criminal activity. What about you, learning criminal activity when you was younger or now? Are you prostituting or something?
No, I didn't really have like that much. I mean, a little bit, but not like a whole bunch of things. You know, not a bunch of criminal activity.
Yeah.
Because I was really scared, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Ray? A lot of criminal activity?
Oh, there's a mute button. Well, let's see. I did get hauled off to juvenile aid when I was a kid, but it was for a pretty lame reason. Got older. It's more, let's just say, I might have done a few things allegedly, but, well, never got caught.
Yeah, allegedly.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah, so, well, actually, the things I did weren't a criminal act. It's more against the health act.
Yeah.
And I'll explain if you grow certain, like, let's just say you grow a vegetable that you imported from South America and you didn't have the right paperwork and it had certain qualities about it. It might be against the Health Act if you self-administer this stuff. So, yeah, allegedly.
A lot of these keep falling back to lack of empathy, though, if you've noticed.
Right.
Yeah, that's I wasn't into violent crime or anything like that. No, it's just.
Well, I was. I mean, I'll even talk about one thing that I did because, I mean, like, I'd beat people up for money.
I made phone calls. I had a unique talent for making phone calls that was so deeply disturbing to people that they would pay the debt without the use of violence.
Okay.
And it was the use of intimidation, which is just as bad, really.
Yeah, intimidation, yeah.
And one way to get people to cooperate was just say, listen, we know you live with your mum and dad. Would you like us to come and knock on your door and tell your mum and dad that you owe us several $100s for this? And what we'll do is we'll tie up you and your parents and take about $5,000 worth of stuff from your house. And on the way out, we'll burn your fucking house down. And the dude just be up the dude's house paying the debt within 20 fucking minutes. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, that in itself is a form of violence.
Yeah, I will admit, not my proudest moment, but like I said, I used to be able to I'd be in a room full of people and we'd be pissing ourselves laughing because we're just putting the mockers on idiots that owed money, and it was like, I don't know, it's like you just used to ham it up and pretend you're a Goomba. Hey, capiche you all the money. You better pay up. We're going to come. You sleep with the fishes, eh?
Now, this next step, you definitely don't suffer from, Red. You definitely don't. You seem kind and charming. Red's definitely not a psychopath. That's one of the steps. Kind and having a charming personality or a way of speaking is not an official symptom of antisocial personality disorder. That kind of describes me, don't it? But it is a characteristic that is often seen in psychopaths. Although they have trouble with empathy, they do have an understanding of social expectations. Yes, they do. And how other people behave and can mimic or fake empathy and kindness. This allows psychopaths to easily control and take advantage of other people. This is one of the steps I really wanted to talk about, because this is something that I've read and watched documentaries and stuff about. Psychopaths are very, like they don't have empathy, but they know how to mimic empathy.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's that?
No, it's just disturbing, but it's like all of us here, we all have empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a robot or something. They're feeling.
Are you mimicking your empathy?
No.
Yes.
The psychopaths aren't. They're not like robots. That's when we're hitting sociopaths, and when they're just emotionless machines. Those fuckers. Just as a side note, approximately 10% of all people that run massive corporations are full-blown sociopaths.
Yeah.
Not psychopaths, full-blown sociopaths. They have no fucking, they don't care about anyone around them. They don't give a shit. And that's why they get to the top. They are robots, those fucking people. But
yeah, this step though kind of does sound like me though. Because I do have a charming person. I am told I have a charming personality. And I do have the gift of gab, right? So this kind of could fit in back in my 20s. Let's go back in my 20s again. Even though I was, like I said earlier, I could be like really, giddy and happy with you. I was always a good talker. I mean, I was always like a person that could talk my way out of situations and charm people. Like I've said this so many times, I've gotten laid by people I shouldn't have been laid by. I mean, it's true. I've been with women that my fat ass should not be with, because there's some pretty ass women, and there's no reason why I'm with them, but one reason: I'm a charmer. So I do have that step.
Yeah, I don't know if we could say that. I have a charming personality. I could talk.
I can say you don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that I fucking don't. I'm very abrasive to like. Let's go jump on the non sequitur show Discord and ask several people that I've had run-ins in the first time. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Sometimes my problem is I don't have the social filters that most people have.
Yeah,
it's like most people know not to say certain things. Like you don't say to people, "You're full of shit, cunt." When you're having a conversation about flat Earth, you politely say, "I don't agree with your views." I just come out straight out and say, "You're full of shit if you think we don't exist. You're a fucking moron." It's just like, no, that's not how you make friends and influence people, Stephen. Stop. It's like,
you just doxed yourself.
Yeah, I don't give a fucking shit.
Don't be doxing yourself on my.
Dear Red Eye, how dare you fucking intimidate yourself on Pimp Show? What the fuck were you thinking, you piece of shit?
Oh.
I'll see you in court. All right then.
But yeah, a lot of psychopaths that, and somebody said, I don't know, I think it was raised and said in the chat room that not all psychopaths are bad people. That's true. Not all do crimes. Not all. Some mimic their way through life with fake empathy and stuff, and have good lives and are good to people, and they're not doing crimes but most serial killers are psychopaths, right? So they had, and most of them, because who was it? Ted Bundy was supposed to be a very charming fellow. He was a ladies' man, I do believe, right? Even though he killed the ladies, that dude was fucked up. He would kill them, then fuck them. Yeah, he wouldn't, rape them alive. He'd kill them and fuck them. He was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, Bundy was a fucked up individual, dude.
All right, Bunny. I think you chat. Yeah, here's the thing, Bunny. I've gotten to know you over a few years now, and it's to quote Zeph, it's an emotional connection. It's like, no, you're one of my best friends, mate. You and Alexis, we've talked about everything, and it's like people say that you don't get to know people over the internet. Well, when you spend enough time with someone and you learn to trust them somewhat, you fucking open up and talk about all sorts of fucking deep, dark shit. You know
me and Luna talked last night. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean to.
No, you're right. I'm kind of being pretty open and honest about some of my past right now, and a lot of people probably wouldn't admit it, but for the sake of the conversation, it's like I think it helps. It's like, yes, I've done some horrible things when I was a kid, and it's like I regret. Here's the thing, though. My mum instilled enough, we'll say, routines for empathy, so I understand that being like that's just doesn't help. Oh, shut up, dog, or I'll punch you in the face. Jeez, no empathy there.
Psychopath. I totally agree that you can get to know someone on the line. I mean, you can have great conversation. Like last night, after the stream that I did with Luna and Bunny, me and Luna and Bunny sat there and talked a while. Then Bunny left; she had to go sleep, and me and Luna sat there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just talked. And talked about serious, funny. You can definitely create a bond between somebody online. Me and Raisin, my tree baby, that's how we got connected. Now we've actually met in real life and had like a real life connection too, but that's my tree baby. She'll always be my little tree baby. You can definitely create a bond with someone online. I've created a bond with you. I am your sensei. I am Red Eye Sensei. I'm his master. I am his God. I am his Jesus. I am his Pimpus. Instead of Jesus, I am Pimpus Christ. I am Pimpus Christ. I'm going to create a t-shirt that says Pimpus Christ on it.
I know.
Will anybody in the chat room buy a t-shirt that says Pimpus Christ? And don't just say, yeah, I'd buy it. I mean, really, would you really buy it? That said Pimpus Christ.
Like, I'd wear it around here.
You would wear it.
I know I'd wear it, like. And then try to run away from the pitchforks.
Yeah, that's like that. I got like one shirt that I got says, fuck you, you fucking fuck. I have never wore that shirt in public ever. That's why it's in perfect condition, because I've only worn it online.
Oh, I have a shirt that says like fuck, but it has like the Webster's dictionary explanation of it or description. I can't wear that here. I'll wear it when when you come.
When I come?
I'm well.
Oh, really now? I'm such a dick. I really am. I'm a dick. People are saying, Lexus, I'd buy it and hang it on my wall. The Corky one says, I want that shirt now. I would buy a t-shirt that says Vash. Well, hell, I'll create the shirt then. Should it be Pimpus or Pimpus?
Oh my gosh. Read what Aaron said.
If it has you in a loincloth like Jesus, I'd buy it and wear it. I don't know what to say that. I'm flattered and disturbed at the same time. So yeah, there you go. We'll create the shirt though. We'll definitely. I got several ideas for some t-shirts that we're gonna do. Okay, but Red Eye's coming back in a second, but he will admit that I am his Jesus, I am his God, I am his Pimpus Christ, I am his sensei, I am his master. Yeah, he'll admit that.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We're talking.
I just thought I had an intruder. My dog's an idiot.
I'm intentionally getting the show off the reservation right now because we're about out of the fucking list. So we're taking a little. Before we read the last step, because we're already at the last step, we're just kind of getting off the reservation for a bit and talking about if I created a T-shirt that says "Pimp Us Christ," would they wear it? And everybody's saying they would.
Yeah. Oh, why not? I think you should. Everyone should buy at least 2 of them.
Oh, also, since we're kind of off the cards behind me, I'm about to take all these cards down because I'm putting up a new background on the wall. It's gonna look awesome. It's gonna look really cool in here. I'm getting some new lighting. Eventually I'm getting a new webcam that's really, really expensive and really high, really good quality webcam. So everything's gonna look more professional and sound more professional. But the cards, the face cards, we're gonna like sell, but the number cards we're gonna have like a little bitty contests and giveaways and stuff. And all the cards I will autograph, and the number cards will be like given away, and we'll figure out. Me and Red and a couple other people will sit down and figure out like what should we do to give away the number cards. And I think it's a good idea. But the face cards, if you want an autograph face card, I can set a price if you want it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. No, I don't think we'll have a bid war this time. We'll work it out so it's you know what you're getting straight up.
No, not a bid war for the cars.
Nah.
I do got something eventually we'll have a bid war for, but it's going to be down the road. But yeah, these are just set priced on the cards. Or you can make me an offer and I'll say yeah or nay. Yay or nay? Red Eye is gay.
Yay. It's heterosexually challenged.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
No, it's faggot.
Wait, what?
It's full on faggotry, my friend.
I resemble that remark. It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
That's too perfect.
It's with me. It's flabulous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Someone wants to buy one of my eyes. Nah.
One of your eyes.
Yeah.
We do have $100 stream go, by the way. If you want to tip now, I'll read your messages at the end of the stream. We'll probably end a little early today because I do need to go somewhere with my mother. We won't end too early, but it'll be a little early. So we'll go ahead and read the last step, and then we'll talk about this for a moment, and then we'll just shoot the shit and we'll go wherever it goes. We may end up talking about having sex with donkeys.
Tijuana. What happens in Tijuana stays in Tijuana
until it's on YouTube, and then you get flagged.
God damn it.
Okay, the number one, last one is you're manipulative. A final symptom of antisocial personality disorder is manipulation and deceit. Psychopaths often lie, manipulate people for personal gain or even pleasure. They are often seen as cold-hearted, as they are willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want. While these characteristics often affect psychopaths negatively, some can apply these behaviors in more positive way. Many high-functioning and intelligent psychopaths have successful careers in fields that require manipulative responsibilities. For example, psychopaths often work well as salespeople, CEOs, and lawyers. Jobs in that's what you were actually just talking about earlier. Jobs in these fields require charming dispositions, cutthroat personalities, and the ability to manipulate your clients to do what you want to buy or your products. Psychopathic personalities are perfect for these fields, and those who can stay out of jail often work in jobs similar to these.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm no good at the manipulation thing because I'm a shitty chess player, and to manipulate someone into doing something that you want them to do takes several steps usually, and I'll just way too much fucking work. It's just directly do it yourself or just don't bother. That's the way I'll work though. Manipulation, nah.
Yeah, I think I go back to my 20s. Was I some? I guess I manipulated from time to time. But here's the thing about manipulation: you have to be a good liar. I am not a good liar. I used to crack up when I'm trying to tell a lie. Like I'll get nervous and shit. So I don't know about the manipulation thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing about lying too. I've never liked doing it because you have to keep track of all your bullshit.
Yeah. You usually get caught up in it because you start lying. You have to lie about this, lie about that, lie about this. Yeah. It's really crazy. I think most women are manipulative cunts, though.
What? I don't know how to do that shit.
You don't know how to manipulate people. I think women. Now they're here, and honestly, I'm just shooting this right off the top of my fucking head. I don't know, but I think women are probably better at being manipulative than men are.
Oh, look.
I would say we have like a natural, I guess, because of like sociology, whatever. I think we naturally are manipulative, I guess, as women, maybe.
Yeah. Power of the pussy.
Yeah.
The power of the giant.
Seriously, I remember the night I hooked up with one of my ex-girlfriends. We were talking and we were flirting, and she fucking said, "So what would you say if you wanted to take me home for the night?" And I said some corny fucking stupid line, and she went, "Yeah, that's nice." And then she fucking grabbed me by the shirt and fucking reefed me over and then sort of growled in my ear, "What you should have said was take me home and fuck the shit out of me." And I went, "Oh, okay." And we both finished our drinks and fucked off. But that's what, as soon as I worked out she was keen, it's like I was fucking following her for the next 18 fucking months. It's like, you want to fuck? We're going to fuck in a minute. Because she was fucking awesome in bed. So for the next 18 months, it was like, come and pick me up from work. Oh, cool. We're going to fuck.
That kind of reminds me of a story my dad told one time. He was real young. He told this chick at a bar, he said, "I really like to get in your pants." She said, "Why? I've already got one asshole in them."
Seriously, that used to be a big weakness of mine. If a girl fucking showed even the slightest bit of interest, I'd nearly become a slave for a while. It was quite pathetic and sad. And to this day, I'm pretty sure that if some girl showed me her boobs and said, "Let's go," I was like, "What? Okay," turn into a titty zombie again.
Raisin makes the perfect fucking argument for me about thinking women are more manipulative. They lack the brute strength, so they use what works, right? So I think women are more cunning because they don't lack. I mean, they do lack the power that most men have to just take or whatever. So they work on their skills to manipulate, and it's not a bad thing, actually.
It's for survival.
Yeah, actually.
But
But
I guess I would think if they ran into someone that was, suffering from like psychopathy or or a disorder like that, then they wouldn't know how to do that. They would probably fail in their manipulation.
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of women probably get into relationships that end up being violent, domestic violence, because they do get sucked in by the sweet talking psychopath who then ends up using violence to manipulate and to get their way with the woman.
That is a very good point.
Right.
Yeah, because that is a very good point, because the man that my mom was with that beat her for so many years, and I ended up kicking his ass. When she first met him, he was like Romeo, dude. He was like, I mean, he was so sweet to me. I was her son. He was good to me, good to her. Then when she moved in with him, a month or two later, things changed, right? And he became the most evil fucking man I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, the mask came off.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a very good point to make, Red Eye. My stomach's growling. It just went wrong.
I don't have that. I don't have that problem because of that delicious plate of cheesy nachos.
How did we eat yet? Fuck you.
Why you eating nachos in the morning? Oh, that's right. You're in the future.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning, man. That's the best time to eat them motherfuckers.
Actually, though, the best time to eat shit like that though is drunk. Come in like fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. Because let me tell you something. Greasy is the best food ever when you're drunk. Greasy foods, man.
Eat greasy food before you start drinking. It will actually it will save you. And this is a trick because in Australia we have this. On Sunday, my dad used to play golf, and it was drink a beer, play the hole. 18 cans of beer, 5% alcohol. Like that's puts people in hospital. That level of fucking alcohol consumption. And the way they used to get through it was they'd have barbecue plates set up everywhere, and they'd just every couple of holes you'd eat a couple of greasy snags or whatever, and that's why all these Australian bastards were so fat in the 80s and shit. They used to do that every weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're past that. We're in the second hour now. We're 3 minutes into the second hour, and we're pretty much done. Read all the lists. So I can do this from time to time. We can keep on talking about shit. But Queen Tide Pod. Tip $20 and said, fuck work for making me late to your stream. Take my money. Thank you, baby.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, baby.
Oh.
That's right. That's all right, mama. Give that money to me. That's all right, mama. I'll eat your pussy. That's all right. That's all right. I can't, though. She likes the female creatures.
Sorry, I won't do that.
1 for the money, 2 for the show. Tide Pod likes to eat the coochie hole. Right? I'm such a dick. Did your tip go through? Let me see. Wait a minute, now that might have been that. Actually, I just read a tip from 2 days ago. What the fuck? Tide Pod didn't tip, bitch. No, I'm joking.
Somebody better get pimp cheeseburger.
Somebody did tip, though. Somebody did tip. Wait a minute. Okay, Corky won tip. Corky gave $30. Okay. That's what the tip. See, I read that I got a tip, but I didn't see the fucking. It just now popped up her name. So I went to Streamlabs. I seen Tide Pod. I thought it was Tide Pod who tipped. It was Corky. Thank you. $30. I want that autographed face card, Black Queen of Hearts. Please, also love you, pimp. Okay, baby, you can have the Black Queen of Hearts.
Yay.
Where is the Black Queen of Hearts? Wait a minute. Yeah. Well, do I have the Black Queen? Oh, yep, right there. So, yeah, okay, you can, I actually only got $28 for all that money for some reason. But, yes, you can have now, I will be mailing these cards not soon. It'll be after I get back from VidCon and after I get everything settled. But, yes, I will. You can have that card. There you go.
Hey, we should briefly discuss and have a look on Google about some of history's most famous psychopaths.
We should.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm not doing it.
You're not going to do it?
I'm not doing it. I done did all this other shit. I did the work for the other hour. Oh, that was my work. Fuck. And right now. Anyways, baby, you can have the card. And I tell you what, that's the set. $30 for the face cards. You want a face card? $30. If you want 2 face cards, it'd be $60. $30 a card. There you go. So Corky has set the price for $30. I was gonna go 40 actually, but I'll do 30. If you want, so if anybody wants a face card, $30. Number cards will be given away down the road. They all will be autographed. So there you go. Appreciate the tip, Corky. It's very, very kind of you, baby. Very, very kind.
Yeah, thank you, Corky. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she is. I tap her on her ass. No, I wouldn't. She's too sweet. She's too gentle. I bet she a freak though. Most girls who act all nice and sweet, You close that door, they're like, all right, take off your fucking pants, boy. Chill, bitch.
I've found a frightening little page here. History's most famous psychopaths. Now, there's Leopold II. He was the king of Belgium from 1865 to 1909, and he ruled over the Congo Free State in Central Africa between 1885 and 1908. Under his brutal rule in Africa, millions of Congolese people died. The death toll estimates vary wildly, and the true number will never be known for sure, but the low figures are at about 5 million, while the high figures sit near 20 million people. And this was all to extract rubber and ivory from the Congo region. To do so, he forced Congolese labor that toiled under the threat of horrific abuse from Leopold's army. So the atrocities committed under his regime involved enslaving the native population, torture, maiming, and slaughter. For example, he would impose quotas on every man in his realm for production of raw materials. Men who failed to meet their ivory and gold quota even once would face mutilation, with hands and feet being the most popular sites for amputation. If the man could not be caught, or if he needed both hands to work, the troops would cut off the hands of his wife or children. And there's a photo there of a young native man missing his right hand.
Holy shit.
Yeah. International press are over the reports of abuse that forced Leopold to change some of his policies and secede some of his land in 1908. Nevertheless, Congo was still a Belgian territory, and widespread atrocities persisted until the country's independence in 1960, when civil war and atrocities of another variety began. That's pretty fucked up. So, yeah, he's a piece of work.
Yeah, the next one I was like, so cringy. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I think you are.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know this, man. Everyone's gonna know this. Pol Pot. Pol Pot was a fucking monster.
He looks like a monster.
Hello.
What?
Oh my gosh!
There's two of you.
Everything went wrong there.
Oh my gosh.
The internet farted, and then my computer froze up for a second at the same time.
Das Vidanya, Pimpmunk. We say hello from Russia. You pay some money, we release your computer. Duh.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Whoever did it, fuck you. No, I'm joking. I don't think nobody. It's just shit's fucked up. I need a new computer. Buy me a new computer.
Okay. I'll get to the corner.
All right. Well, we're discussing Pol. We've just got to number 2 on this list, and it's Pol Pot. So basically what Pol Pot did was he took a developing nation that had cities that were developing nicely, and he just basically told everyone to fuck off and go live on a farm.
Yeah.
So the 2 million, the cities were forcibly vacated, and the 2 million residents were forced to live and work in the countryside. Slave labor. Work began at 4 a.m., lasted till 10 p.m., overlooked by Khmer Rouge soldiers, and they were brutal sons of bitches. And there's a place called the Killing Fields of Cambodia, and there's a really good film out. And it's actually it's a very disturbing story, but it's pretty factual, and it explains what happened there. And it's just, the citizens endured malnutrition. They were permitted 180 grams of rice every 2 days. So they committed mass executions and burials in the killing fields, carried out using hammers, axe handles, spades, or sharpened bamboo sticks to save on the cost of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And so they targeted all sorts of perceived threats and undesirables, including intellectuals, urban professionals, supposed foreign sympathizers, and opponents of communism and others. So basically everybody. His regime came to an end in 1979 when the Vietnamese army invaded Cambodia. It drove out Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge. It's estimated that 2 million people died under his regime. And there is a photo of a pit, and it's just There's over 100 skulls in this photo.
I've seen that photo.
And hundreds and hundreds of ribs and other bones.
Yeah.
That's some fucked up shit. So when you think that you live, you know, it's like, I'd just like to say those folks on the extreme left that think that they say all this shit about Trump. No. Pol Pot was a fucking true monster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eddie Amin was a fucking true fucking piece of shit. Trump's a massive asshole.
Yeah.
But he ain't filling up ditches full of fucking dead American citizens yet and fucking leaving them there to bake in the sun.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, you know. It's like Obama and his FEMA camps have got nothing on the killing fields.
Speaking of psychopathic monsters, Red Eye, I hear you have to deal with one tomorrow.
Yes, maybe, kinda.
There's a special guest host tomorrow.
Oh, I know you're excited, Red.
I'm not gonna be able to make it, so I asked my cousin Pimpmunk to come and host. So she's hosting the show. I don't know what she's gonna talk about. I don't know the topics. What?
You can tell I'm so excited by the tone of expression I'm using in my voice right now. I mean, I am over the top, really excited to be on the show with that skanky bitch. I mean, Pimpmunk.
She'll get you. Better watch you talking that shit, though. She'll get you.
I think we're going to throw. She's gone SJW. We might be throwing down on the show. I'm just giving you a heads up, boss.
I hear that she's got a new hair color, and
if it's in the region of, I don't know, the color of the sky, we're in deep shit.
Yeah, you know, you heard Big Red. Well, you got Big Blue now, I think.
It's like the SJW version of the Ugandan Knuckles. There's red and blue ones.
So yeah. Anyways, man, Pimpmunk popular with the people though. That people love Pimpmunk, and she hasn't been around in a while.
I know you miss her.
All I've got to say to that is, I'm not the people.
And apparently she's changed her look and changed some of her opinions and personality out here. I don't know.
Has she been talking to Steve Shives and Christy Winners?
I don't know who she's been hanging out with, bro. I have no idea. But yeah, we'll see tomorrow, I guess. And I hate I won't be able to be here, but you know.
I think there's going to be a special guest appearance by Lurch. You'll just be hearing a lot.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, she has fallen to the darkness. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really talked to her. I just, you know, I know she can come here and handle my computer, so I'm going to be gone, and she's filling in. So we'll see, man.
Well, on with this quick list. We'll quickly touch on this. The next person on the list is Ivan the Terrible, who was he was the Grand Prince of Moscow from 1533 to 1547 and the first Tsar of Russia from 1547 until his death in 1584. So he expanded Russian borders a great deal. And he basically created his own powerful empire. So, yeah, he fucked up a lot of shit, but everyone's pretty aware of Ivan the Terrible. Who's next? Oh, Elizabeth Bathory. Oh, shit.
Oh, I love her.
The inspiration for Countess Dracula and a woman deemed one of the most prolific serial killers of all time. Elizabeth specialized in grotesque and purely vile. Let's see. So she served as a countess in the Kingdom of Hungary, but since become known for her sadistic crimes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's believed that she was responsible for torturing and killing hundreds of girls between 1585 and 1610. Holy fucking shit.
She bathed in their blood, man.
Yeah. Her execution methods were incredibly disturbing as she would torture the girls while naked, forcing them to eat their own flesh, stabbing them with needles and burning parts of the face, genitalia, and other bits of their flesh. Bathory would torture them for weeks, and many would starve or else would be burnt or frozen to death. It was also widely believed that she would bathe in their blood under the delusion that would help her retain her youth. She was eventually caught in 1610, but her affluence and power shielded her from any serious consequences. She was simply forced to while away the remainder of her life in a small set of rooms while guards watched over her until her death in 1614.
Yeah,
so she got home detention for murdering hundreds of people, basically.
Yeah, we talked about her on the show about I think it was the worst people or something like that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we talked about it. She bathed in their blood, man.
I didn't know that she forced them to eat their own flesh.
I didn't know that either. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
That's gross, actually.
Holy fucking shit! Oh, and here we go. We won't have to speak much of this gentleman except for his name, Heinrich Himmler.
Yeah,
He's a dick.
One of the most powerful Nazis on the planet at the time. Now, who else we got here?
JF. I'm joking.
JF and his formation of his white ethno state in the early 21st century was the biggest disaster ever. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't understand how they can say, like, him and that Richard Spencer dude want to have a white ethno state, but I'm not racist. What the fuck, really?
Yeah, I just want to know how they're going to work out who's white, who's brown, who's black, and where the cutoff point for white, then brown, and then black will be, and what happens if you're black? You just get fucking piffed straight out, but if you're brown, you get to move out of town slowly, or if you pay a brown tax, can you stay? But what if you stay out of the sun? And what if you stay out of you're just on the wrong side of the brown thing, but you stay out of the sun for the week? Do you get to test again and pass the test and just become an anemic fuck with no vitamin D? I say to you, JF, that your ethno state is going to be a fucking disaster. There you go. And that's why. Who the fuck is white? Who the fuck is brown? Who the fuck is black?
Yeah, I'm black.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like that's their big problem. It's like, and if you can't prove that you're directly related to Adolf Hitler, you kind of can't live there at this point. Yeah. So, we've got another fucking Nazi, Adolf Eichmann. Yeah, he was he was a
prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these people kind of just look evil.
Oh. One of my personal favorites is Thomas D. Torquemada. This guy, a Grand Inquisitor from the fucking Spanish Inquisition. These guys specialized in torturing people without spilling blood. Right? Here's the best bit. A month before the Inquisitor would get you in his halls, they'd send you a letter. Right? This is a way this is actually a way to ethnically cleanse your land. You say, right, we're starting up this Inquisition. We're going to send out letters, and you have 30 days, and then we're going to come for you. So what they'd do is send out these letters, and if people would go, oh fuck, and fuck off, or they'd go, oh, I'm good. I'm good with God, and they'd get him in there and torture him to death anyway, because obviously the Spanish the people didn't want them around. That's why they were targeted. It's actually the most effective tool for getting people out of your town is you having a Spanish Inquisition. And to this day, it's still going on under a different name, but they don't torture people, obviously.
Yeah.
But this, yeah, but no, that's actually true. It never got called off. They changed the name and of course stopped the torturing. But people were tortured by means of burning, suffocation, and starvation. They wouldn't like to spill blood.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, hold on. Reading this, specific torture schemes include garacha, pulling a prisoner's arms and legs from their sockets. That's just dislocating the limbs. And water forced down the victim's throat, waterboarding. Well done, America. You're actually using the methods they used in the Spanish Inquisition. Holy shit. But you guys learned that from the Japanese, so that's fair. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is a good one. And Porto they called it. Tight cords tied around the victim to stop blood from flowing. Oh, so they'd cut the circulation off from certain parts of your body. That's fucked up.
That's completely fucked.
Oh, shit.
That's for people.
Yeah.
All right. Believed to have presided over... This gentleman was assumed to have presided over the killings of 200,000 to 300,000 Jews or Muslims who did not embrace Catholicism from Spain. After all of his atrocities, this guy died from old age in 1498.
Ain't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Doing God's work. Oh, Joseph Mengele. Ooh, we won't go into what he did, but Auschwitz. Yeah, so we won't even bother with that one just in case some people get upset. We don't want to do that.
You know who I think's a psychopath?
Who?
Susan Wojcicki, or whatever the fuck her name is.
No, she's a full-blown sociopath. She just doesn't give a fucking shit about anybody or anything, period.
She's
especially fucking YouTube. She really doesn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, she's killing the fucking site she's the CEO of.
Oh, and my personal favorite of all of the psychopaths, Vlad the Impaler.
Yep, I'll impale you.
Vlad Dracul.
With my penis. With my penis.
Yes, this is how to create a true monster. Be born to the wrong family, whose family then sort of basically says, oh, we're at war. Listen, you keep one of my kids as prisoner. I'll keep one of your kids as prisoner. We're good. We won't mistreat them. Promise. So what they did was they locked him up in a tower for most of his childhood. He basically took, he just got pissed one day and he went, yeah, righto, you fuckers, I've seen enough of what you pricks do. He took power back from his oppressors, changed his name to Vlad Dracul, and decided that anyone that crossed him would end up dead. To prove his point, Vlad hosted a dinner which invited everyone who had voiced opposition to him. As they arrived, he stabbed them all, impaling their still twitching bodies on spikes for all the town people to see. Because the tactic was so effective at striking fear into the hearts of his enemies, Vlad began using it on all that opposed him. Before long, people began to call him Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
He certainly, better. Jesus Christ, he certainly lived up to his name, impaling 20,000 of the 80,000 total people killed under his regime on spikes to send a message. Legend has it that he would even host dinner parties in a forest made of spikes, the bodies impaled on them still dripping blood.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but that is just rumor.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's how I lost my virginity. Says Alexis.
Oh, and guess who made number 10 on this list? Jim Jones.
Yeah, well, he should. Because there was a psychopath, there's Jim Jones. And there you go with mentioning Jim Jones, which I'm glad you brought him up, is with the manipulation thing we were talking about earlier. Because he was very manipulative. He was also very charming to people, knew how to talk, and so that he definitely fits everything about a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I'm looking at a photo of the aftermath. Is it I think it was when the Americans went in the land after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, it was horrible, man. And I've listened to those tapes.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
And that shit is so...
It's haunting.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because there's that one woman who's trying to speak logic, like this ain't the right thing to do, and they're all yelling at her and stuff. It's just...
This is frightening.
Yeah, then you hear them as they're taking the Kool-Aid, which actually was not Kool-Aid, by the way, but that's where the term drinking the Kool-Aid comes from. But it actually wasn't Kool-Aid. But yeah, and then that son of a bitch at the end, though, couldn't even drink it himself. They had to shoot him.
This is just this photo is just fucking disturbing.
Yeah, it's creepy, man. It really is. It's fucked up indeed. It's flavor aid, says Alexis.
Yeah, I mean, it says here in this article, it says an off-brand Kool-Aid. If it's an off-brand Kool-Aid, it's not Kool-Aid.
No, because Kool-Aid's just the name.
Right.
That's like people say fucking Q-tip when it's like another brand. Q-tip's the brand. So it probably was something like Flav.
Yeah.
Whatever she said, Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
Walmart brand shit, whatever.
I would be like, it says that he killed himself with a gunshot to the head. I'm like, did he do that? Or did somebody else do it?
Yeah.
I would think that somebody else would have to do
I think
it.
somebody else did it, actually.
Yeah, because he seems like he would be too narcissistic and everything to do that to himself.
Yeah, he does, actually. I mean, he was a fucking crazy man. And yeah, it was just a lot of senseless death in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shit, it just didn't make sense. It's to this day, it don't make sense how, you know, he's a con man. Red, talk for a second.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just this is the power of fucking these the cult of, and you know, the cult of ego. This guy was he was a drug addict, so he was strung out in various drugs, but when it all ended, the people actually went to him and rallied around him for protection from the thinking, oh, we're going to get deported back to America, instead of just calming them all down.
Yeah.
He fucking laced large bashes of the drink and encouraged them to feed it to their children and take it themselves. And as we well know, there were a few people in there that didn't want to take it, and they forced it down their fucking throats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but by that time he was like, so he had manipulated like these people to do so many things. Like they kept moving, remember? If you watch like the documentary, he kept moving them to different areas.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we're just gonna change our entire lives and just go over here. And then they went from America all the way to Ghana.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, holy, so by the time he had already had them emotionally, like they were already there.
Yeah, and apparently it was like really shitty over there too.
Yeah. And they were like, well, whatever. You know, and they were all very smart people. They were supposed to like really well educated, but they all fell for it.
Well, he's a con man. He was a psychopath. He, you know, very charming, and you know, intelligence. Like I've said many times before, you know, people who believe in God and stuff like that are not necessarily stupid. A lot of people will call them stupid. There's a lot of intelligent people, but they're lacking something in their life, right? And then you get some kind of con man coming around and offering what they think they lack, and you know, he's good at it. And he's a crazy son of a bitch, and then shit like this happens.
Yeah, it went from like God though, because I remember watching the documentary, and I think it went from God to him, to like I'm the God.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
Yeah.
Adam, he said leading a cult's better than being in a cult. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't have liked to have been that man at the end of all this, because he would have seen a field of dead people. That would have been his last vision on this fucking planet, was every one of his fucking followers dead, lying in front of him. And then he's just put a gun to his head. He didn't end up any better than they did. He was just the last one to fucking end it. And if you can see the photo I'm looking at, which I'm not going to put out there to share, there's no winners in joining a fucking cult, my friend, unless it was the band, The Cult. That's about the only cult that you're going to have. All the Blue Oyster Cult, that's another band, though. Yeah. Funny to see that, Sarah, I'm going there. Any band with the name Cult, you're probably all right. Any cult that's a cult, no. This is...
I'm sorry about that. Mother had to say something. My madre.
Mama Pimp.
So anyways, Mr. Red Eye.
All right.
I think we're gonna like go into Q&A and stuff for now.
Roger
that. Big ass nose hair. Did you see that son of a bitch? I need to trim my nose hair, Luna.
All right.
Will you
get some nair? I'll go get the nair.
Oh my God, you bringing up the nair. That makes me think of something. Anyway, Red Eye, you're bad.
I didn't do it.
Red Eye did it. Anyways, it's Q&A and tip time. We're gonna go. I'm gonna end it a little early today. I'm gonna end it actually 20 minutes early. So maybe 25 minutes. We'll make it. Yeah, I'll end it 25 minutes early. Not 25, I mean 15 minutes early. Sorry, 15, not 25, 15. Ended 15 minutes early. So if you've got questions, please ask for anybody on the panel. If you want to know something, it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the topic we discussed, which was a very good topic, by the way. And thank you too for helping me out today. I appreciate it.
Oh, no worries, boss. Always fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's also tip time. We're $70 short of the stream go. $70.
See, Alexis says she jerks off with Nair and Icy Hot. Well, you should try Carolina Reaper Chili Lube. I heard that's fun.
Yeah. If 10 people gave $7, we'd have $70. Or 7 people gave $10, we'd have $70. Or if somebody just gave $70.
What if $70 gave 10 people?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with 10 people.
Sell them on the open market.
I would create a cult and have them drink Kool-Aid. That's what I'd do.
Can you sell? If that happened, I wonder if you could just sell them on eBay.
If that happened.
I wonder, because I mean, there's so much weird shit on eBay. Like, there's like a dark part of eBay where there's like all kinds of weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, like, if somewhere is somebody like trying to like disguise selling, you know, like something as horrible as like a person.
I'm pretty sure Islamic State had that version of eBay where you could actually buy slaves and guns and all sorts of fucked up shit.
Yeah, like, hey, here you go.
I mean, I guess if you go on the dark web, there actually is sites, right?
Yeah, I've never been on the. I don't even know
I've
first
never
thing
been
about the dark web. It's like, nah.
They say it's a lot of weird, creepy shit over there, buddy.
I honestly wouldn't know the first thing about even getting onto the dark web.
Yeah, you gotta be really. I heard you have to be really. I mean, yeah, I think you need to be like a computer guy with really a lot of protection on your. You get destroyed over there.
Well,
yeah.
From what I understand, you use a certain OS or one of it. It's not a Windows OS, and it boots from a USB drive, so it all just boots up in a virtual environment. Do what you got to do, shut it down. That doesn't leave any trace of what you were doing on that computer, if I understand the virtual computers properly and how the dark web thing works, but at some level. But yeah, other than that, it's like, no, I've got no idea where to order drugs from. And apparently you can do that. They were saying that on the news in Australia recently. It's becoming a bit of a problem with people are just ordering drugs online and getting this shit delivered. It's like, really? Oh, thank you for the tip. Next time it's a bit dry here, I might be fucking doing a Google search. How do I get on the dark web to get some weed? Step 1. Don't Google search dark web ever again, you fucking moron. FBI are on their way to your house right now. Congratulations. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
I think Silk Road, I'm not sure. I remember something about the owners getting, or was that, there was one site where you could basically get anything from drugs to order a hitman, but that dude got done like a baked dinner.
Damn. That is fucked up.
Buy a Bitcoin. I couldn't afford a Bitcoin to save my own fucking life. It's like seven or $8 grand when we looked yesterday. It's probably like 12 grand a day because they fluctuate several $1,000s every 5 minutes.
Raisin wants my balls.
What? How many of them? 1, 2, or all 3?
She said she wanted all 3.
At one time?
At one time.
Is she going to juggle them?
With her mouth.
What?
Mouth hog.
She's gonna mouth hug juggle your testicular fucking region.
Absolutely. She's got skills, bro.
Ah.
She's like the Ringling Brothers on the balls. I don't know. I have no idea why I said that. She says she likes to flick the little one. She's a bully. The little one's what they call my dick.
Oh, that's mean.
It is mean, but it's true. I'm stretching.
Gonna flick the little one. Testicular assault.
Testicular assault.
There should be a law against that. I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Okay.
Abuse of the balls.
Yeah. That's
Ball abuse.
just the tip, everyone. Just put the tip in.
Yeah, everybody needs a tip, man. Look, yeah, there's enough people here to get me to $70. Do it.
Just the tip.
Of course you did.
If every $7 just gave one person, we'd be all right tonight. We'd be doing all right.
Just fine. Yep. Luna, that looked like I concerns you, huh? Oh, it concerns you. And my eyes is fucking weird today.
Huh?
Because I hadn't had much sleep. That's what it is. Hadn't had any sleep since yesterday afternoon.
Have you been crushing up Ambien and putting it under your eyelids again?
I have.
Oh,
That,
man.
but I've been butt checking Zoloft.
Damn, dude. Wow.
Wow.
I've got nothing at this point.
You got a lot of things. You got STDs.
Allegedly.
No, it's true. Yeah, it's true. It's damn true.
That medical certificate clearly says allegedly on it. I'm reading it now.
You're reading it now. So, no more tips, it seems like. That's fucking sucks. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and end it now because I got to go. I'm about to fall asleep, but I got to go somewhere. That's what my mom was telling me.
Oh.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody who watched. Thank you, Corky, again for that tip. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corky.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining, Luna.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, Red Eye, for being gay.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Anyways, make sure you check out tomorrow's show hosted by Pimpmunk.
I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
But anyways, Morning Wood is heading out. It's the erection is dying.
It's getting droopy because you talked about Pimpmunk.
Anyways, guys, thank you. Goodbye.